and welcome back to Lune Sur Storylog, where we uncover the real stories behind the music.
It is a beautiful, quiet night out there, isn't it?
It really is. The kind of stillness that makes you think about relationships. You know that old saying, opposites attract.
They really do. But in the story we're looking at tonight, that attraction can be a little bit dangerous, at least in the artist's garden.
Dangerous is a good word for it, because you have this dynamic where the artist, he loves this wild, overgrown, secret forest kind of look.
Right. And his wife sees an overgrown plant and thinks it looks like messy hair.
Exactly. Like it needs a haircut. Desperately.
And she doesn't just, suggest a little trim. She takes matters into her own hands.
Oh, she definitely does. Some of the stories are they're hilarious. The artist talks about planting scallions, and he had this vision for them, tall and green. And then the next morning, he walks out, and they're just gone, dropped completely flat to the ground.
Just little stumps. Oh, my. Did she? What was her reasoning?
She said it improves the flavor.
Of course she did.
And it didn't stop there. The tomatoes, he was so proud they'd grown into this absolute jungle.
A good thing, you'd think.
You would think, but she saw chaos. She went in there and pruned them all the way down to a single barren stem.
No.
Yes, she called it a gem, said it would help them ripen in the sun. But to him, it just looked naked.
It sounds like she has a very clear vision. And she's relentless. She turned a whole mulberry tree into a bonsai.
A whole tree.
A whole tree. She just walks around the yard with her shears.
Oh.
The artist actually, he compares her to Edward Scissorhands.
That is the perfect image. I can just hear the clicking of the shears.
Right. Misunderstood, maybe, but undeniably sharp.
And it's not just the plants that are on edge. I love the detail about their dog, Lulu.
Oh, poor Lulu. Even the dog gets nervous during the morning inspection.
Does she also get a trim?
Apparently, yes. The artist says Lulu gets trimmed so professionally that strangers stop them on the street and ask who their groomer is.
That's amazing. So she's actually really good at it.
She is. But you could feel the artist's fear. He jokes that when he's out in the garden and hears that snip, snip sound behind him,
He checks his own hair.
he instinctively checks to make sure his hair is still there.
I don't blame him. But, for all the humor, there's something really, really touching about how he sees it in the end.
I agree completely. The tone really shifts. There's that one line in the song.
Where I see life in tangled green.
She sees the best it's ever been. It just changes everything, doesn't it?
It really does. It reframes the whole story.
Exactly. You realize it's not destruction. It's her love language. She's not killing anything. She's sculpting it.
She's finding the potential inside all that chaos.
She sees the gem hidden inside. She's trying to put out the best version of everything, even if her methods are a little, ruthless.
It's a beautiful way to see it. And the music itself, it just captures that energy so well. It's not some slow, sad song. It's got this gypsy jazz feeling.
It's so fitting. That fast acoustic strumming and the violin. It does this pizzicato thing, plucking the strings.
So it sounds like the snipping shears.
It sounds just like the shears. It's this perfect picture of a manic, sharp, but, a really sweet kind of love.
Now, shall we go meet the song contained in this story?
Please subscribe and like.
She planted scallions tall and green. Next morning flat, a garden scene of tiny stumps in tidy rows. She said, that's how the flavor grows. I blinked, you chopped them to the ground. She twirled her shears without a sound. Trust me, she smiled, they'll come back bold. My wife, the gardener with hands of gold and steel. Then came tomatoes, tiny seeds exploded into jungle weeds. Vines like snakes on every stake, fruit lost in the leafy wake. I searched for red, but all I found was green on tangled ground. Then snip, snip, a barren stem. She'd pruned the chaos into a gem. Now they'll ripen in the sun. She said, less leaf means more fun. I hear the click before I see a flash of silver, wild and free. My heart jumps like a startled hare. What's next? The mint, the basil, hair. Oh, scissor hands, you rule the soil with sharp commands. No vine too sacred, no bloom too sweet. If it's I trust you. The morning glory's gone by noon. She dug 'em up beneath the moon. No flowers, then they're just a weed. I beg, but wait, they'll bloom indeed. Too late, the fence stood bare and clean, not even a leaf to be seen. Then the mulberry wild unplanned, a rebel tree in barren sand. I saved it once from her decree, till snip, snip, snap, a bonsai tree. Now it's elegant, she said with pride. I just sighed and stepped aside. Even Lulu's not immune. Morning inspection, noon and soon. A low growl, a futile flea. She gets the scissor hands decree. But strangers stop us on the street. Who's your groomer? Lulu's trim looks sweet. And when excuses start to sprawl, she cuts them short. No talk at all. Enough, one word and truth is born. She cuts the bull like a jagged thorn. Oh, scissor hands, you prune the world with loving hands. You see the shape inside the sprawl, the cleanest version of it all. Scissor hands, you're part gardener, part command. You scare me half, you make me grin. My sharp, sweet, ruthless Edward's twin. So when I see her in the yard, shears in hand, standing guard, I whisper to the daisies, pray. But deep down, I know this truth today. Where I see life in tangled green, she sees the best it's ever been. My love, my